Before we even start this video, I had to tell you, it's an April Fool's joke. I'm still working. Right now. I'm on call. I'm on call today. I'm still working full time. We've put out over 50 episodes since this episode was aired, and people still ask me if I'm retired. I don't know. We've put out 50 more episodes. I'm not retired.
Hey folks, Sheriff Lamb here. Today is Friday, and you recognize this guy, Fridays with Frank. So, Frank, you hit your 20 years. You're now eligible for retirement, which is sad for us.
I'm eligible for retirement. That is an absolute statement of fact. I am eligible for retirement. I'm in our deferred retirement system right now, but I am not retired. But words mean things, and I didn't lie anywhere in this. I am eligible for retirement. I could leave any day I want. The sheriff's office treats me so good. I don't intend to leave today or tomorrow, but you know, if someone throws me a big enough carrot, I might take a bite out of it.
What are some of your plans?
So, you know, Pinal County's big for skydiving, but it's a little too high for me, so I'm thinking I might take up some base jumping.
Fishing?
Doing some fishing.
This photo right here was drawn by Sock Puppet Master. She's amazing. She's from the East Coast, another East Coaster. So Sam reached out to her as part of this April Fool's joke and said, hey, we want you to do some animation for us. So this is from her. If you don't follow her stuff, you really need to. She's great, super pro law enforcement. She actually did a drawing for me. It's framed. I actually have it hanging up in my room. It is one of the things that makes me smile every time I see it. So if you're not watching Sock Puppet Master, make sure you tune into her.
Back
Your
east,
dad the fisherman?
Gonna go back east, fish with Dad a little bit. So yeah, man, I got some plans.
Are you gonna be able to make the ends meet financially, or do you gotta have to walk dogs or something?
Walking dogs is definitely a possibility for me. Just something to kind of bridge my time.
I've heard it makes good money.
Yeah, I'll make some money on it.
So this is the 50th episode. You've given it a good run, brother.
It's a good run.
You're giving it a good run.
I appreciate it, man.
We appreciate you, and don't worry, folks. We're not gonna leave you hanging. We got a replacement in place. We got something in mind for you.
Yeah. Schmidlin, who's now Sergeant Schmidlin, that he's sitting at his desk typing with his motorcycle helmet on. So Chuck and I have been partners for over 20 years. We both started at an agency and then have left and come back together at the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. He's been a motor instructor for well over a decade. He's incredible on a bike. So the idea of him sitting at his desk while typing and wearing a motorcycle helmet was all Sam's idea. So that was Sam's setup of, hey, this is what we want you to do. And Chuck was awesome, as he has a great sense of humor, and he played right along with it.
Hey, Chuck.
What's up, Frank?
You're gonna need these.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah,
How much marijuana have you smoked today?
I have a little bit.
A little bit? Like how long? Like 2 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Just a few minutes ago? Okay, you got any insurance on the truck?
Oh, yes.
Because I'm getting a huge contact high right now. Like I'm debating going and buying a bag of Cheetos.
He likes Cheetos. Chuck walks up and he's like, well, this guy's DUI. So we processed the DUI. Sam was like, well, it kind of slows the process of getting video down, but you know, sometimes you have to deal with it.
I got bad news for you. You're under arrest for DUI, okay? And you got to come with me for a little bit. But who can we come to come get your truck? Do him in front because I'm going to let him use his phone.
You know what? We'll do that right in front. Our plan is to process you, release you, and then subsequent to that, you'll have some paperwork that the county attorney will send you in a couple months. Okay. But as of today, you will be home.
But he was super cool. And when people are really cool with us, it allows us to be really cool with them. So per Chuck's request, I handcuffed him in the front. But it allows him to use his cell phone. And what that did was it allowed him to find someone to come and pick up his truck so we didn't have to tow it. And then also for him to get a sober ride after we were done processing him.
Within probably from this minute right now, in less than 2 hours. Hi, citizen.
Howdy.
Hey, any idea why I might be stopping you today?
We stopped this guy
Okay.
a second time,
well,
too.
So here's the very first thing. As you drove past me on the traffic way, what were you doing?
Took a picture.
Holding your phone?
You're manipulating your wireless communication device as you're driving down the roadway.
Hey, Frank, I have a question.
Yes.
Do Teslas have seatbelts?
They should have seatbelts, but you're not wearing yours.
We're going golfing right here. I got my clubs in the back.
Well, that's fine. I like to golf. I don't golf very often.
Or well.
But I sure do look good in a pair of knickers. I'm gonna give you a ticket for being on your phone.
The family, the stick figure family on the back of Chuck's Explorer. What's really funny about that is for those of us that knew, that whole big family were all of the members of the traffic unit, from the lieutenant all the way down to the two newest rookies we put as the names of the animals, the cat and the dog. So each one of those was a member of, from the lieutenant, sergeant, and then all of the different members of the traffic unit, all with different variations of our name. So instead of me being Frank, I think I was Francis. And so on and so forth through each of the members of the traffic unit. So it was our little internal joke of having a stick figure family in there. That's why it's so big, is it's the whole traffic unit.
Because you're not allowed to be touching your phone, and for not wearing the seatbelt, because I'm concerned for your safety. You're doing about 15 miles over the speed limit. Your windows are a little dark tinted, and you don't have any mud flaps on your truck.
All right, so he's got a warning about a year ago.
Okay.
I would write this dude a ticket because that's what I do. But if you want to give him a warning, give him a warning. Like, where on the mountain or right, he's in the valley wrong. Whatever, man. Figure it out.
Okay, I'll go and explain it to him. I've decided I'm going to give you a warning, right? But I need you to understand you're in a condo of wrongness in the valley right now. And I need you to make sure and get this done so you can get on a mountaintop and not be as wrong as you're in the valley of the condo thing, okay?
Well, how did it go?
Look,
Sheriff, I can't retire.
if you've reached this part in the video, you've watched it all the way to the end, you have done more than overwhelmingly half of the internet. So for now, weeks, months, and year after, people are still asking me about if I retired, because all they did was watch the first 10 seconds of the video and didn't watch it to the end, where I said, hey, Sheriff, I can't retire. Because people are impatient on the internet and have a very short attention span, they didn't reach the end. Almost every week I hear someone tell me that I'm retired and that they hope I'm doing well in retirement. And I'm like, I'm working 70 hours a week. Like, I am still full-time.
Good. Listen, folks, tomorrow is April 1st. Don't believe anything you see on the internet, especially not tomorrow, because tomorrow's April Fool's Day, and this was our April Fool's. Frank's not going anywhere. Hope you enjoyed this episode, the 50th episode of Fridays with Frank.
This video was made to be a joke. Like, Chuck sitting at his desk wearing a helmet, Chuck coming out with 100 pens on him. Like, it was overtly comical. Chuck standing at a car talking about, which was real, by the way, talking about the condo in the valley of wrongness and like all of that. Like, this was made to be a joke. Just like, and we still have people asking about the airborne unit. That was also an April Fool's joke. Pinal County Sheriff's Office has a great sense of humor. Like, if you haven't figured that out yet, you tune in, because they do all sorts of great stuff. But we can't do April Fool's jokes anymore because people take them seriously. So they were calling saying that they wanted to be an airborne unit, and they were wondering why I was retiring and all of these things. Like, you have to watch our videos from beginning to end, because you never know what's going to be at the end of them. And sometimes around April Fool's Day, you got to think, hey man, maybe we're pulling one on you.
Hey, it doesn't look like you have a motorcycle endorsement. Because it says endorsements none. Okay.
You have to do this right now.
It's literally my job to do this right now. It is the only thing I do.
This video comes out a week after the April Fool's video aired. I don't understand how people weren't like, wait, I thought you retired. And then said, oh, it must have been an April Fool's joke. And then now there's 50 more episodes. But like, we literally put out a video the very next week to solidify the fact that I didn't retire. And people haven't caught on in well over a year.
I literally went back to my house so that I could get some food.
Yeah, no, food's important, man. It's the guy in the passenger seat never misses a meal.
That's Sam. I'm not throwing shade at Sam. Lunch is a huge part of our day. We'll start videoing in the morning. We'll video for a couple hours, and within a very short amount of time, we're talking about where we're going to go to lunch. So it's a big deal. It's kind of an ode to Sam of like, hey man, you're the guy that picks great food places. So we need to start a video series about best places to eat in Pinal County because we'd kill it.
In the internal database that we keep, this guy has been stopped in January and was involved in a collision in February, and now he passed me at the first time he passed me. I don't even know how fast he was going, but it was fast, and I locked him in on radar at 65 in a 45, and he doesn't have a motorcycle endorsement on his motorcycle that doesn't have a speedometer on it. So you have been very popular here with the Pinal County Sheriff's Office in the last couple months.
Yep.
So
Can't catch a break from you guys.
well, we are not in the business of giving breaks. We are in the business of enforcing the law, to which you seem to keep breaking and we keep catching you.
I didn't think going 0.2 miles was gonna be this big of a deal.
That's not a big deal. It's just a traffic stop and a citation.
No,
That's
no, no.
it. Super
but
easy.
You saw my record. Like this is gonna put
You got stopped in January. You got stopped in February. Yeah, so you're like 3 out of 4 months now. You've had contact with the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. So, you know, I understand that. I understand your frustration. I'm not saying that you're not.
You have the full capability to give me a warning and let me.
Giving warnings is not what the Pinal County Sheriff's Office traffic unit does. All of this stuff is all in the civil realm. Nothing about this is criminal. This is simple. And if you went to driving school for your first one, this will not put you over your points, or at least it shouldn't. Points are in
reckless driving back in November. That's what it is.
Oh, I didn't know that. Your windshield looks like the street map to a busy city.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Deputy Sloup. I work for the Pinal County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit. The reason I stopped you is you're at a criminal amount of speed coming up here. It's 25 posted, 25 miles an hour in this zone. You were at 46 coming at me there. Let me give you a warning for your windshield, even though it is an insult to Arizona law. All right.
We're gonna call and make a claim.
Get that thing fixed.
Okay.
So, I'm also, since you've never been stopped in Pinal County before, I'm not going to write you a criminal ticket for your criminal speed, okay?
Because I didn't realize I was going that fast.
Yeah, so we're going to keep this right in the civil range, okay? So it's just a regular speeding ticket. What's the speed limit here on Schnepp? That's right. You know what your top speed was when you passed me? 61. No. Locked in on radar.
That I did not see.
That is 100%. And you're driving a lifted truck with no mud flaps, which are required by Arizona state law. Speeding, no mud flaps, you're like a violation smorgasbord here. You've never been stopped down here in Pinal County, so I'm going to give you the courtesy of only having a civil cite.
So can I see the radar?
You may not, because it is mounted in my car. And I have lots of guns and ammo in there. Lots and lots of guns and ammo. As we should, because we're here in America. And that's the way that is. So, but no, I take a picture of it, I attach it to the citation. See your driver's license, please.
I'm a permit.
Dad's teaching daughter how to drive. Well, through a school zone isn't the time or the place to teach your kid how to drive. Like, go to private property, go to a mall, right? Like, adult drives there with a good license, gets on private property. You could switch seats. You're on private property. There's no requirement to have a driver's license. And then you could practice pulling into stalls and making lefts and rights and doing all the things you need to do to learn how to drive in the safety of a parking lot that's empty, not through a school zone in Santan Valley.
Let me see your permit, please.
I don't have like it.
How old are you?
16.
16? Okay. So you don't have any sort of permit?
No.
Okay. So why are you driving?
Because
Hi.
I feel like I'm
very
entitled.
good. Thank you. All right. Any idea why I might be stopping you?
Perhaps the school area.
Well, she's more than double the speed limit in a school zone, and she doesn't have a license.
If you are teaching a kid how to drive on the roadway, let's say that you have acquired a permit so that person is legally allowed to operate the motor vehicle on the roadway. As the observer of the driver sitting in the passenger seat, every once in a while glance over at the speedometer and say, hey, this speed limit is 15 miles an hour, 34, 1 mile an hour away from criminal speed is probably not a good idea. You should probably press on the brake.
Did you know that she didn't have a permit?
I know.
You know that she doesn't?
Yes.
And you were letting her drive anyway?
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Oh, okay. So your citations are going to be for being in a school zone, going faster than 15 miles an hour, and not having a driver's license. You're also getting some citations today. So your citation is for permitting an unauthorized minor to drive.
It's a misdemeanor.
She doesn't have a permit. You can't just go driving around, especially at more than double the speed limit in a school zone. So she is not allowed to drive because she does it poorly.